Alright, so, basically, when they're about to go on their first mission, and they're at home, Sakura tells Sarada and Christian something really, really cringy, and then he's about to, then he goes, and just dies, going, he says, what's so funny? He says, the words that you said are hilarious. He said, Sarda says, stop being like that. That's kind of a jerk move. He goes, I'm sorry, I can't. He says, and he can't stop. He goes, he said, when they're walking over, he says, Sarda, if that's disrespectful, if I'm about to burst out laughing if someone makes something dumb that's supposed to be motivational, please punch me in the face, or like hit me in the head, because I am not gonna stop until I burst. He goes, that seems fun. He goes, alright, I didn't actually meant you to think it like that, but I don't care. Because I'm gonna burst out laughing because these adult jokes that I don't get. Then when they go, Konohamaru makes a really, really cringy thing to say. Person is holding back his laughter. He goes, oh, but then he says, then he gets bonked on the head. He says, thank you, I needed that. I was about, he says, what do you mean you need that? He says, I was about to go burst out laughing. He says, then when they get their mission, and they go into the Hokage's office, he says, Boruto, hopefully your dad doesn't make something, please hope. He says, does your dad make cringy jokes? Things that are not supposed to be, things that are meant to be like inspirational, but then they turn out funny. He goes, yes, most of the time. He goes, shoot. He goes, why do you think I got punched in the head by that? Because I told her to, if I would go outburst laughing. If I'm about to go an outburst. Now give me a second. Then when they get to the Hokage thing, if you don't, Naruto says the thing about getting burned. Christian goes, then he hears voices all around him going, laugh, laugh, laugh. He goes, no, I can't laugh. Then he pulls like something and smacks it in his head going, he says, are you okay? Naruto says, are you okay? He says, just let it out. He goes, I did it! It's the first time! He goes, it's the first time in forever. He goes, yes! He says, what happened? He says, Sarda says, well, Mom made a very weird sentence / supposed to be motivational, but he laughed like crazy, so he wants to stop being like that. So yeah, and he goes, hold on, I'll be right back. He says, once we're getting at, then Boruto's also holding back his laughter, but then he comes back, he goes, shoot, 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 and then he's holding back his laugh, then she does what he told him to. He goes, finally, it snapped out. So then they tell him about the bandits and all that crap. Then when he gets out of the Hokage office, Boruto says, I'm gonna make him laugh now. Boruto goes, Christian goes, hold on, I'm sorry, what?
¿Cómo se dice diarrea? Apunta la caca. Abunda la caca. Abunda la caca.
And then he just falls to the floor going,
Te llamo para que vaya a y me llama el cocinero.
then he falls to the floor on the ground and goes, come on.
Voy a la playa, había subido la marea.
And he dies. And then he goes, doon, 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 and then dies right there. He goes, wait. Konohamaru says, I think he died from laughter. Good job, Boruto. You done it. You done did it. Then he poofs and says, who said I was done? Mitsuki says, who said I was laughing? He says, wait, we were talking to you, Mitsuki. He says, technically you kinda were. Then he poofs into Christian and goes, ha ha! He goes, then where's the real Mitsuki? Konohamaru goes, I'm real Mitsuki. Then he turns into Mitsuki. Then he says, Boruto, are you Sarada? She transforms back into Sarada. Then he looks at Boruto. Then Boruto turns into Konohamaru. He says, why the hell were we even doing this? He goes, I don't know. He goes, also, Mitsuki, what was that laugh? He goes, I don't know, actually. I don't know. I think that's the way he laughs. Because I did transform into him. He goes, wait, you laugh like that?
Yeah, I got you. I got this on camera.
He says, alright, so... Christian goes...
Look at this dude.
Oh, no, 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 no.
Oh, look at the top of his head. Look at his lips.
Then No, let's just do something fun. So, when Boruto has to, I'm just gonna say they completed the mission because I don't care. Okay, fine, I do care. They doing all about the bridge stuff. I'm gonna skip to the fight. When it starts, Chris says, "Alright, guys," then activates his shotgun. Then he looks at him and goes, then he gets a really good look at him and says, "Guys, don't move." He goes,
Look at this dude. Wait till you see the.
no. Oh. He says, "What's so funny?" He says, "Look at his head." He goes,
Look at the top of his head. Look at his lips.
and then they all just die going, no one. Look at this dude. Ooh. Yeah. Oh, no. Oh no. Look at this dude.
Wait till you see.
No. He said, then he goes,
Oh, he tried it.
he goes, "Whoa, you little brat!" He goes for sword strike. He catches it, saying. Then he gets really, really angry and goes, cough, cough, and scares the out of Boruto, Sarda, and Mitsuki, going. When he goes to sword strike, he catches it, going. Then trips him, going, while he's looking at his phone. Then trips him. He goes, "Whoa, you little." Then dodges out of the way, looking at his phone, going. He goes, "Cool, extra viewers." Then he goes for another sword strike. He dodges out of the way and then kicks him in the face. Ah! Ah! Shake it eye. Ah! Then trips the guy again. Then knees in the face, saying, new messages. Then he actually pretends to get sent flying back. Then he disappears and then hides while they fight. Then he says, "I'm gonna make an epic scene." Then he starts to, they're losing ground. Then, out of nowhere, they see a black light, and then out of nowhere then using his lightning palm on his back, so he goes flying down. He goes. Then he gets. He goes. Then the guy throws him off him, but he just backflips and lands on his feet and goes. Then he puts down his phone and goes. Then clashes with his sword with his kunai going. Then he goes. Then spams Jutsu going, Majestic Destroyer Flame! He says, guys, get back! They all jump out of the way while he's hit with the giant fireball, which basically kills him almost. Then he ties him up, going, done. Then he's wrong. Then when they return back from doing the mission, two annoying bullies go, isn't it the Hokage's little brat? And Naruto ain't there yet, just saying. Then they get in the way of Boruto and the team. Christian says, before I take it back, he goes, then he says, excuse me, you're in our way. He goes, oh, we're not gonna let you go. Konohama's not there, just saying, he would kill them if they were. He goes, what are you little weakling getting? Then he goes for he says, none of your business, old guy. He goes, what did you call me? Then he goes for a punch, and then he goes for the punch and caught that punch. He goes, what the? Then his friend goes for a punch. Then he goes and catches the other punch. Then he kicks him back, going into a wall. He goes, then his friend goes, how dare you? Then he goes, dick it, oi oi oi, ma, dick it, oi oi oi. He says, we're gonna tell the Hokage on you. We're gonna tell on you. He goes. He goes.
Stop acting like...
Stop acting like you think you can do anything.
You're still my sensei. Go ahead and try something if you'd like. I'm just itching to kill you.
He goes.
Stop acting like you're still my sensei. Go ahead and try something if you'd like.
Hold on, give me a sec. Then he appears in front of him going,
go ahead and try something if you'd like. I'm just itching to kill you.
He goes, whoa. Then they're kind of scared, because he's threatening to kill two, at least Shinobi. And then he's got two kunais to their throats. Then Naruto walks in and says, what's going on here? He says, he's defending me. He says, then he walks over saying, that's enough, you three. He goes, right, Lord 7, then walks away. He says, he's so calm about the situation. He says, also, wasn't that... Then... bully gets his entire squad when Christian goes home and follows home to his house, and he says, now that you're here, well, then they start to egg his house when he's not there. Sakura finds out, but she's just like, well, whatever. They're gonna I'll force them to clean it. Hold on, give me a sec. I'm gonna mute. Okay, good, I got it. He says, what? He says, you guys again. Now you're egging my house? He says, oh yeah? We're gonna beat... He says, now what are you gonna do? We're gonna destroy you now. Since there's 10 against 1, Sarda sees this and says, hey! Stop it! Then he says, get back, Sarda. Then he goes and says,
go ahead and try something if you'd like. I'm just itching to kill you.
she is shocked at what he just said. He says, that's the exact... Then he goes... Then he goes... They all get scared. He says, you might want to get out now. I'm just itching to kill you. Then they run away, being scary, going, whoa! But then he appears in front of them saying, no, you're not going anywhere until you clean this house till it was shinier than it was before. Then they run even faster away. He says, whatever. He goes, Saito! Then he says, we have to clean this before Mom gets home. She is right. And they both use water style to try and clean it all off. He goes, he says, none of the eggs are coming off. He says, these are weird eggs, too. They're huge. The yolk is huge. He goes, what the hell kind of eggs did they use? Sakura gets home and she says, what happened here? He goes, while they're using their water style, he goes, then he pushes up his water pressure with the chakra, cutting off the eggs. He says, what happened here? He says, stupid annoying bullies that bullied Boruto came to my house, then I scared them off by saying I'm just itching to kill them. He goes, that's exactly what your father said to Kakashi. He goes, wow. He says, did you also do the psycho laugh? He goes, yep. He goes, that's identically what he did. And that's it for this part. Goodbye.